But we begin this morning with breaking news out of Halifax. A few moments ago, Prime Minister Justin Trudeau announced Canada would be imposing a tariff on Chinese-made electric vehicles, as well as on Chinese aluminum and steel. Trudeau also announced his government will be taking steps to reduce the number of temporary foreign workers coming into the country. The Prime Minister made those announcements at the federal cabinet retreat in Halifax, and Ashley Burke was there and listening in. Ashley, let's begin with the announcement on temporary foreign workers. What did the Prime Minister have to say?
Well, Chris, the Prime Minister unveiled that there are going to be changes to the temporary foreign workers plan. This after the government's been grappling with this explosion of immigration numbers after the pandemic. They saw the numbers double for non-permanent residents between 2021 to the second quarter of this year to 2.8 million people. And that's according to Statistics Canada. Here's what the Prime Minister said is going to be changing.
The first steps we're taking today of reducing the number of low-paid temporary foreign workers that can come work in this country is part of the response. Over the next 90 days, we'll be looking at the higher wage streams of temporary workers, and we'll be looking at unemployment rates and opportunities to make further adjustments over the course of this fall as we come forward with comprehensive level plans that'll respond to the reality that Canada's facing now and in years and decades to come.
All right, Ashley, so more changes could be coming to the immigration system here in Canada. And the Prime Minister also made a significant announcement on tariffs on Chinese-made electric vehicles. Walk us through the details on that part of the announcement this morning.
Well, Justin Trudeau announced that there will be a 100% tariff on all Chinese-made EVs, or heavily subsidized ones, and as well a 25% tariff on steel and aluminum coming from China. Now, this is a change that's in line with the U.S. that moved forward with these tariff hikes in May, and since then there have been calls from the industry, Ontario's premier, and experts to move forward and do the same thing. Last night there was a surprise visit for one of U.S. President Joe Biden's top advisors, Jake Sullivan, the national security advisor. He came here and he spoke. Well, this is one of the things that he spoke to them about. And he said it's not just a case where it's an economic concern. He says there isn't a level playing field because so many subsidies are going into these Chinese-made EVs. But he also said and urged Canada that this is a security threat. Take a listen to what he said.
The European Union has taken action on this front. And the G7 has spoken broadly about this set of issues, about overcapacity and about the national security challenges associated with certain kinds of supply chain issues and trade issues. And Canada will make its own determinations, but the U.S. does believe that a united front, a coordinated approach on these issues benefits all of us.
The government is moving forward on a number of these tariffs, matching them with the U.S., but not with semiconductors and solar cells, which is still doing consultations on.
And Ashley, looming large at this retreat, of course, is the infighting within the Liberal Party. The Prime Minister being asked there by reporters a number of times about all of this infighting. He was clear he wanted to stay on, but tell us more about what stuck out to you from how the Prime Minister framed him staying in that role, despite all of the consternation that's coming from within his own party.
The Prime Minister faced questions about if he's taken any lessons from what's unfolded in the U.S., where the Democrats changed their leader when Joe Biden said he wasn't going to run for re-election and Kamala Harris stepped in. They've seen a bump in the polls, a newly energized campaign, but when asked if Trudeau's taken from any lessons from that, still no signs that he plans to do something similar. He wants to stay on for this next election. He said that he's running on his agenda and what he's done over the past 9 years. And this comes at a time when the party is facing, and Justin Trudeau himself, some of the lowest polling that they have seen since he became leader. And also they lost a by-election in Toronto St. Paul's earlier this summer, and that caused members of caucus to come out and say that they want to see big changes. And they haven't seen that yet in the last several months, and they want it to come out of cabinet. Some say they want a cabinet shuffle, others say they want some sort of signs of contrition from the Prime Minister to say what's gone wrong and to do a course correction. They want a major reset coming out of this, but there are no signs at this point that that's what's going to happen here in Halifax.
All right, a lot to keep your eye on. Ashley, thank you very much for all of this from Halifax.